So let's talk about this meme that I occasionally see float around on social media. As you can see, it tries to mock the notion that capitalism breeds innovation by showing a bunch of cars made by different companies that seem to all look the same. And you want to know how you can tell this meme is bullshit right off the bat? Just go outside anywhere in America. Just go outside and you'll probably see plenty of different cars, trucks, minivans, SUVs, electric vehicles, maybe some station wagons, convertibles, recreational vehicles, luxury vehicles, and other types of vehicles on the road of all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors. Or just go to your local dealership, look on a dealership's website, just look at any of the companies that are featured on this chart, and you will probably see that they make all sorts of different vehicles. This is probably the most touch grass meme I've ever seen in my life, yet many people share it on the internet as if it's fact.
That's just not smart.
Not to mention, stuff like size and shape are not the only things to consider when choosing a car or when thinking about innovation. This meme tells us nothing about these cars' engines, transmission, navigation systems, heated seats, brakes, four-wheel drive, fuel efficiency, air conditioning, power steering, rear view cameras, remote locks and starters, security systems, stereo systems. It might also be worth noting that America's automobile market is not exactly laissez-faire. The market has evolved into a lobby system with a long history of automobile companies, labor unions, environmentalist activists, consumers, and safety advocates lobbying politicians and governments for various favors and regulations. And such favors and regulations often do have consequences, some of which may impact stuff like innovation and vehicle pricing. Although that's probably a topic to address another time. But let's not forget about the bailouts for some of the automakers following the 2008 financial crisis. Let's not also forget about the fact that the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, is wealthy thanks in at least part to the fact that his electric vehicle company, Tesla Motors, has benefited from various favors such as cap and trade policies. And now Tesla is seeing their competitors get favors over them because Tesla does not employ organized labor. Maybe we should start this topic by discussing the man who is most credited for making a reliable automobile that was affordable to the masses, a mechanic from Southeast Michigan by the name of Henry Ford, who would become famous and one of the richest men in the world by innovating both the automobile and assembly line production in effort to sell his Model T, which was first introduced in 1908. The ironic thing about Henry Ford in this discussion is that Ford, for years, opposed making any new models of automobiles, choosing to simply make tweaks and improvements to the Model T and its assembly. Ford did not even offer cars in different colors, famously saying that any customer can have a car painted any color he wants, so long as it's black. And how did this all work out for Ford? Well, Ford Motors would eventually lose market share to competitors like General Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, and others who were looking to get rich off of selling vehicles to customers who were looking for something different than the Model T, eventually encouraging Ford Motors to make new models. By 1950, there would be 323 vehicles per 1,000 people in the United States, up from just 2 vehicles per 1,000 people from when the Model T was first introduced, as private and commercial vehicle registration would reach 40 million by 1950, and that number has only increased ever since. Meanwhile, it's been said that around this time in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, that the Communist Party under the leadership of Joseph Stalin was trying to pull screenings of the movie Grapes of Wrath, because the movie showed that even poor people in horrible capitalist America could still afford an automobile, unlike people in socialist Russia. Remember this next time some asshat tries to tell you that capitalism does not breed innovation. While we're talking about automobiles, I want to address a point that I saw in this recent Robert Reich video, which, as you can see, already has over 300,000 views.
That's on top of the average price of a new non-luxury car, which is now over $44,000. I mean, even accounting for inflation, this is way higher than the average cost when I bought my first car.
As we can see, Robert Reich cherry picks the new non-luxury vehicle statistic, which is apparently around $45,000. What's interesting is that Robert Reich uses a picture of what appears to be a Toyota Camry to illustrate this point, as if to say that this particular car costs around $45,000. However, a brand new model of this vehicle in 2023 starts at around $26,000, topping out at around $36,000. That being said, it might be better to compare prices of particular models over time rather than the average price of a new non-luxury vehicle, as Robert Reich tries to do. The Toyota Camry is a model that was not introduced in the United States until 1983, and depending on which source you trust, the sticker price was anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000, which would be around $24,000 to $30,000 in 2023. In other words, roughly the same price as a brand new Toyota Camry in 2023. And this is before you factor in all of the improvements in the Toyota Camry over the last 40 years. And depending on the vehicle, we do see some inflation-adjusted price increases over time. This 1984 Nissan Sentra commercial advertises the car at $5,199, which would be roughly $15,000 in 2023, whereas a brand new Nissan Sentra starts at around $20,000 in 2023. So a price increase of roughly $5,000, and again, this is ignoring the fact that the 2023 model of the Nissan Sentra is far superior to the 1984 model. Whether or not the improvements justify the $5,000 price increase is up for debate, but either way, it's still far less than the threefold price increase that Robert Reich suggested.
You absolutely suck!
Let's also take a look at the car from 1962 that Robert Reich used as an example, which appears to be a Volkswagen Beetle. According to Robert Reich, this vehicle would be about $15,000 in inflation-adjusted dollars, which appears to be accurate. The most recent version of the Volkswagen Beetle appears to be the 2019 model, which had an MSRP of roughly $21,000 and topped out at around $30,000. So still a significant price increase, but also still far below the $45,000 figure that Robert Reich cited. There's also the car that Robert Reich himself drives in this video, which appears to be a BMW Mini Cooper. And a 2023 model of this car had an MSRP starting around $29,000. In fact, I found a dealership that is offering a 2024 model starting at $27,000. So for those keeping score, the two examples that Robert Reich used in this video, along with the car that he drives himself in this video, are all far cheaper than the $45,000 figure that he got from Kelley Blue Book. And if I'm understanding things correctly, this number looks to be skewed because Kelley Blue Book appears to include vehicles like pickup trucks, minivans, SUVs, and electric vehicles in its non-luxury vehicle category. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that capitalism has failed to breed innovation, particularly in automobiles? Have automobile prices tripled, as Robert Reich implies? Let me know in the comment section down below.